It is necessary for the idealist to turn inward, to see, as it were, the ocean in a drop of water and the universe in a grain of sand. The oldest philosophy of Western culture, dating back to ancient Greece, is idealism. By definition, idealism is any system or theory that maintains that the real is of the nature of thought, or that the object of external perception consists of ideas. For those unfamiliar with the idealistic philosophy, the concept is difficult to grasp. The idealist believes that the self is made up of the mind, soul, and spirit. Let's break the idealist perception of the mind down into three main points. One, the mind is the principle of explanation and knowledge of all things. Even the mind itself is a product of the mind. 2, the mind is of a different nature than matter. It is composed of a different substance. And 3, there can be no object without a subject thinking about it. The main focus of idealism is to search for truth. Claiming reality is dependent upon the mind. The truth or reality can be sought out in the idea, that is, through the mind and logic. Idealism emphasizes that the physical world is just a reflection of true reality. The father of idealism, Plato, created the allegory of the cave, which demonstrates idealism in physical concepts. To expand upon this, there exists a perfect realm of form and ideas, while our physical world merely contains shadows of that realm. Unlike realism, which concentrates on the observation of the material world, idealism and Plato propose that these shadows of reality can be replaced with pure ideas through education and enlightenment. Teachers are the most important element in the school system. They serve as the intellectual and moral example which students learn to follow. In order to be a good role model and teacher, idealists insist that teaching is a moral calling for those close to the absolute truth. That way, teachers act more like a co-worker with absolute truth. Teachers also need to be skilled questioners in order to teach the students to think. A teacher's job is to not only teach students how to think, but also guide them in what to think about. In order to do this, classrooms based on idealism teach a curriculum consisting of the great literature like Confessions by St. Augustine, Shakespearean plays, Beowulf, and many more. The curriculum also emphasizes philosophy, history, and the arts. Idealists acknowledge that their subjects contain lessons that are truth, that is, timeless and unchanging. Idealism puts great value on past literature, as it explores the purposes of life. Literature is believed to be useful in solving today's problems. Idealism encourages creativity by reflecting on the creativity of others, like in literature and art. When we enjoy a work of art, says the idealist, it is because, on the one hand, we see it as a true representation of the ideal, and on the other hand, it serves to bring us closer to contact with the ideal. Besides literature and the arts, idealism focuses on history and the humanities in education. History and the humanities help to find appropriate truths around which to model our behavior. They also reveal absolute patterns of life. In all of these subjects emphasized in idealism, the idealistic teacher will instruct the class through lecture and class discussions, relying on the world of the mind over the physical world. A primary method of teaching used by idealistic teachers is the Socratic method. Students are encouraged to think logically to unify and make sense of their thoughts and ideas. While knowing truth comes with logic, reasoning, and revelation, many idealists believe that most people settle for the lowest level of truth, also known as opinions. It is the job of the teacher to move students from opinion to true knowledge. They do this by teaching subjects and topics as a whole, rather than in parts. Idealism is not as popular as it used to be, and actually, there are many critiques involving idealism. These critiques include that idealism sets the unobtainable goal of perfection. It also de-emphasizes experience and ignores the physical self. There's too much emphasis on the humanities, and the possibility of error is completely overlooked. While idealism may not be for everyone, it is a very demanding philosophy for those involved. As it was previously addressed, teachers are held to incredibly high standards, and students are also. The idealistic pupil is characterized by that admirable trait, the will to perfection.